Good Friday. A reading from St. Matthew, chapter 27. The soldiers of the governor took Jesus into the governor's headquarters, and they gathered the whole cohort around him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and after twisting some thorns into a crown, they put it on his head. They put a reed in his right hand and knelt before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" They spat on him and took the reed and struck him on the head. After mocking him, they stripped him of the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. As they went out, they came upon a man from Cyrene named Simon. They compelled this man to carry his cross. And when they came to a place called Golgotha, which means place of a skull, they offered him wine to drink mixed with gall. But when he tasted it, he would not drink it. And when they had crucified him, they divided his clothes among themselves by casting lots. Then they sat down there and kept watch over him. Over his head they put the charge against him, which read, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." Crucifixion is a horrible, horrifying, agonizing death. Often prolonged and drawn out, the person hanging on a cross, perhaps with nails through their wrists and ankles, perhaps tied to the cross with ropes, would be forced to pull themselves upwards with their arms in order to breathe, a truly painful experience. They might die from heart failure or asphyxiation if they were lucky. The less fortunate died slowly from dehydration, from sepsis from the preceding scourging, or from attacks by the animals that prowled around the place of execution. It would be difficult to imagine a more humiliating and painful death, and its true nature is often hidden by the natural tendency to gloss over the appalling details. But it was this manner of death that Jesus willingly underwent in order to redeem us. It was this path that he chose to take in order that we need not walk down a similar path alone. It was for our sakes, every one of us, that he underwent such great suffering. When faced with the scale of this sacrificial suffering, we can choose how we approach it. We can ignore it, turning our heads away from it, hiding away from the pain, pretending that it was not as great as it was. We can agonize over our own unworthiness, the impossibility of ever living up to such a sacrifice, the hopelessness of being worthy of such self-denying action. Or we can look on the cross with open eyes and full understanding, accepting the love that flows out from it towards us. We can be aware that we will never deserve such love, but aware too that we never need to. Christ's very action means that we no longer need to seek redemption through our own efforts, having been accorded it freely through the grace of God. We can resolve to live in the light of such love, able to meet the events of our life with equanimity, secure in the knowledge of Christ's saving action, content to greet each moment as it occurs, without fear or anxiety, but confident in our ability to cope with it and to live through it.